嘿，欢迎大家回收看5分4的游戏频道。我们今天晚上又要回来玩 Disco Elysium 极乐迪斯可。那我们之前是到周3，理论上要开始去调查桥对面了。我不太确定我为什么站在书店门口，但我今天应该重点是要去调查这个水闸对面的状况才对。有一个升级点数还没有用，正在内化的思绪，剩下现实的荒原。要听收音机。找到可以发射 4.46mm 可以正常使用的武器，就是凶器。联系一下盔甲的序号，记得要拜访，晚上要记得回来拜访28号房。刚刚呢
You see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in the... It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect... So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued. The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinel, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. Sure. Call back tomorrow.
还要再等一天呢。
More information for you then. 57.
In the cabin, east.
还要再等一天。问昆诺，他都知道什么？昆诺还有什么对话可以讲吗？
Kuno's like Kuno's dad. Kuno doesn't give a fuck about it. Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's up. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly, cocking boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows?
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with...
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy.
心怀恶意。
Be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit?
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Your test.
Get lost.
Kuno do...
先看水闸吧，怕时间不够，对话搞太多了哈。 哎，这个人不见呢。哦，没有，还在。
A rusting control panel. You grab the handle. The water lock starts moving.
修好了。
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your...
Focus on one thing. Achieve it, then the next.
我们不是还是应该要调查那个往南逃逸的轮胎痕吗？所以我们这也不算是在偏离主线办案啊，对不对？满地都是漏掉的零钱。禁止进入，画了一颗倒的星星，所以又是共产党。通情达理，逻辑思维，扣逻辑思维。这是扣增强好胜。弄坏了栅栏跟铁丝网，秋千不见，所以秋千可能被拿去干什么奇怪的事，属于我们的幽灵。我不知道为什么全部取走这么麻烦，那界面会自己消失。哎，音乐收藏，这算是哀伤的音乐吗？感觉不像是。树上传来隐约的咕咕声。没有看到啊，没有看到有鸟。轮胎痕从这里下来之后，又往上开了。坏掉的轮轴还在发出刺耳的声音。
A banged up motor carriage lies half submerged. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leaving.
It appears to be so. I agree. We should definitely investigate.
The motor carriage is a single day in the salty seawater would ruin most vehicles. But this one looks worn even in places the salt water hasn't.
所以本来就快要坏掉的车子。
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My gut.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening. Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes. Crazy recklessness. I'd say it has been... Let's wait for the low tide.
Great idea. Then we can get the...
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
啊，这样就要浪费2个小时哦。
As you sit down in the hinges creak under your weight. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing. The tune on your lips form. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. 2 birds on a wire, whistling. The clouds pass in the sky.
吹个口哨还可以加士气。
Moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
I'm pretty sure I told you already, didn't I? My dad and mom are both half Seolite.
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
God, I hope so.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
It's as if he knows what it stands for. But does he know something about the driver of this vehicle?
A precinct, yes. A police precinct.
A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes. No. Just no. Say no to this, Harry.
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses.
Of whom? I don't. Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point. I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for me. That is very You'd be lucky to find one undamaged Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 reals. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this. Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kidnap.
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
结果是我的车，靠北。
Yes.
Let 至少找回警政啊。
Yes. Okay. Congratulations.
Lie. Lie to get out of it.
Am I? Anyway, did you want something?
警政有什么好处？可以互动诶。
A police badge on which you see the photo of a...
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information. And you see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number. The man keeps winking at you with his green-gray eyes. The photo is old, no, but the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge. 8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns. What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now.
所以以前真的长得像个大明星是
The
吗？
badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't. It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
A name like armor.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
双重荣誉警组。
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're double Freighter. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant. Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past.
过去非常成功，但现在就是坨屎了。
Your current situation is only temporary.
恐怕没有什么前酒鬼。
Good. Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens militia.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for kings like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea.
Such a small yet precious thing.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure. 4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is... it's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
所以我们一个分局要管将近3个分局的工作量。
But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva.
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, he knew all those people, although they're not from his station. They must. The badge in your hand shines as you wrote.
Hello there.
There's no way to listen to the tape. A pawn shop. A pawn. 6 crumbling pen. The note is...
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's... Someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio. So I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer.
所以
Suliswaf.
姜色头发的小文盲应该指的是 Kuno。
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little... That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory.
It's like the production schedule you found. Only this one's an off-site copy.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to... I don't know.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box? The bullet is still safe. An intricate... It still kind of looks... Crinkled chewing gum. You feel compelled. Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written, drawn by regret. Stop. Before you hurt, you carefully fold the wrap. It's the ledger you found. Arson. Petty theft. You don't exact. It takes about half an hour to piece one together. Murder. Tum. At the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned. Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner JM, only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister.
查了一个
Was on
月
it. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory. No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor too.
很
The
糟的
worst
经商。
jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere. And you look into it.
傻不拉几的。
Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum flavored vapor all day. Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health too. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor. Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next, some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved. No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next? It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then, another, who knows, those pages of one day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
方口枪要怎么发射啦？
AKA
滑膛的哦。
Leslie and Burke. AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard. You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? Can you keep yourself off the threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie will expose them. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That he must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. The officer is also drunk. Way more drunk than Burke there. And let's be fair, you also have party eyes. You slam the hardened. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore, can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke, who knows, but both drunks are off the... Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read? This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202,
都在处理一些屁事
graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement of cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form. True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and the graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next, the crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in the 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options. A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter, and not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of... In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper, then rip them from the binder and hand them 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are you don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real.
一晚的房钱呢
That requires special paperwork, but they appear pleasant. These are quite sinister in tone. They all in a print so small it could be considered a dozen pages of thin copy paper. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guy. The rest of the stinking cellular, it's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone. Just something rattles inside, and something small inside. Light, permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. With your hands, you four-sized pages hang from the clip. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, without resistance or sound, 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil
动物园入场券
The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. It smells of chewing gum. Exactly like the gum wrapper you found. The same brand of chewing gum. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her
怎么会知道是女子写的字迹
effort and a smile. You think, although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting.
对啊，所以很明显是认识的人，只是熟悉的字迹，不是用字迹有办法判断
Harry
性别。
begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please. A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it. Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector. A streetcar distancing. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything alright?
What？ 真的晕倒嘞！靠北啊！刚才是下午4点呢。
There is nothing. Again.
还没有翻译。
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery. Just blackout.
Yeah， 就晕倒了，就倒在这里昏倒。
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
The call. when you're dead, brother.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow, because it's always there.
白色哀悼
Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as they say, what do you do? It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
口香糖闻起来像是背叛。
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause. Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape, its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Your name is fuck all.
It certainly ain't Harry. Your name is passed out on the ground, dragged around by one of the other evil apes. They're taking you somewhere.
Yeah, man. What was that about? You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in
我
the
被泼
driver's
水是吗
basket,
Drink.
呀，被泼水。
the water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone?
Actually, beer and cider have loads of water in them.
But these are not the Franco-Nigerian centuries. We are in the present. It is safe to sometimes drink water here.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter.
What happened? That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
哦，我又昏倒了1个小时，靠，已经下午5点了。失败与怨恨手册，增强好胜扣2。所以把手册读完，还可以解锁一个特殊道具，加内陆帝国跟通情达理。
There it is again. The scent of apricots with a bitter, citrus, whatever petrochemical byproducts they used to create this artificial flavor, until a blossom of skin and flower petals erupt. Feels very, very familiar. Harry, please, you were supposed to discard it. The sun sets into the sea. There is a movement next to you. Why are you talking to a gum wrapper? Yes, from the height of antiquity.
要内化口香糖思维吗？机电工，白色的哀悼，小家伙越走越远。活在过去会扣反应速度。不管了，全开了。机电工跟口香糖只能选一个。机电工吧，感觉跟自己的过去应该要非常的有关系。这时间过得有点快耶，我们这今天的调查非常的花时间。事实上，这里的工人都不见了，然后车辆通行的部分还是没有放下来。
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon.
Sorry, man. I can't be giving out freebies. Never a discount.
Remember, he doesn't like music. He likes sounds. Careful. You can only do this once.
Sounds like a rip-off, but okay. I can make it, and here you are.
10块钱折扣买到了录音机，可以播了。
Porter reel is Jacky push. Come on, set.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Valson crane.
He's right.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of his. It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. Still. End of recording. A village on the Samaran Isola in South Safra.
The South Safra conflict is an ongoing proxy war between
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. Or maybe Kohoi is just merc talk for atrocity, slaughter.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony.
这录音档是要用来证明他们确实有暴行。
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinket. You see rows of toy soldiers. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a
无头骑士。
Oh, that's the headless phone rider.
There's been a lot of interest in that particular figurine. I had to hide it so it wouldn't fall into the wrong hands.
He doesn't elaborate on these.
I've heard about it. I've heard the Headless Phone Rider ride the Headless Bull.
Yes, there are several competing versions of the story, but I believe this figurine is a more canonical representation. The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has meant... Did I mention that this figurine is...
完全不知道这东西可以干嘛。不过0.5块而已，对不对？已经5点半了，如果我们要帮老太太找到她的老伴的话，可能要快。酒驾把自己的车撞沉了，然后还到处作乱呢。整个警局就只有5台车被我们弄爆一台。更多的明信片，故弄玄虚加2，可能要帮骑士找头。没有什么印象哪边有这种东西。是哪个配件？颈部。现在是佳能延3道。
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position.
Huh? Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need at this moment. I understand the situation looks grim.
Think of it as a salvation. You have a home somewhere.
不是啊，我到底可不可以在这里免费睡觉啊？警探好像不让我这样干呢。解锁快速旅行，我从来没用过它的快速旅行功能。 道德国度加一，道德国度是什么东西？根本不是一个技能吧？时间不太够，避免节外生枝，先不要跟其他 NPC 对话。老太太是在找你。别打给阿比盖尔。
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail! Abigail! Don't you...
You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk.
Don't call Abigail!
The man hiccups. Then he snorts and beckons you to lean in.
Don't call Abigail! Don't call!
There's no use in yelling at...
The drunk man stopped.
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me! Don't! Don't!
There was little chance he'd be...
他没有，他没有外观描述吗？我已经忘了。
There's no.
Hey, Tequila. Good to see you. So what's happening? Yeah. Tequila.
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street gang.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image a long time ago. Those days are over now. Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom's Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddy.
Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high concept.
We are saving...
Please! Please don't call.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. So now it's a pirate's life. It's you. You're Tequila Sunset. We've met before. Don't you?
果然。
You sure don't.
Maybe. You look like you want to know how tequila's... Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth. Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them.
It is. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you, right there on the beach. The time hath come! So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come, to which you replied, "The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things." After which, your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
The muscles in your right leg tense up.
We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep.
In this way, you and your motor carriage have a lot in common.
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to part. We asked about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you...
Wow, that's quite...
Yeah, I bet tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be...
If you only knew.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard.
No one's fucked me.
Abigail.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're beside your gun and your badge. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too. That's a big one. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And it...
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
Yeah, you seemed really mad about... I'd rather not get into the details. It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. You too.
没有找到植物学那个生物学家。我为什么可以直接去人家家把松鸡标本偷走啊？靠，这样不对吧
Hello, mister.
She clutches a small stuffed animal.
It's Lammy.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that...
Yes. Lammy has lived a long life. Lammy was a... Yes! Lammy was a... It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skewer you broke.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry. My mom's outside. Bye.
真的是进来就随便把人家的松鸡拿走了 ，what？ 问题是我还蛮怕我到处去对话，到时候现实的任务失败的。暖气机发出的噼啪声响。
Hi, officer.
腰间挂着剑，我怎么没看到？
Anything I can help you with? The name is Lilian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of story. It's to intimidate folks mostly. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy. Just from time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanged...
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled. Gone. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough... Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for drunk, sinewy muscles. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kid.
She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, seeming... Let's see. Who, I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. 2 odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. What are you looking for besides snowmen? Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
循循善诱。我想一下，看一下惩罚来是什么。
This is gonna calm down soon. I can feel it.
要找到好的约会地点。我觉得我们的搭档会傻眼呢。找海边，问题是看的差不多啦。
This is it, the scene of the party, the fire pit. Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sun
looks like it. Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
剩下一些零钱在这里。他说北边。OK， 这后面还有区域。重油，重油不就是我需要的化作颜料吗？啊，这个应该是那个教堂。
They're covered in a thick layer of grime.
No, I won't even try. I had a partner once. They called him Eyes because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
You see, a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
Ah, 应该是他了吧。
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitsurag.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, hypertext, young carp, and the collection of cultural hyperlinks. Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into verbs lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the coalition landed in 08. We could be...
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis.
No, thanks to you.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather...
到处跟人要钱的选项，我的天哪！这游戏太残酷了。我们还不够乞丐吗？ 快速旅行至教堂解锁。等一下，起重机为什么还要投币啊？工作的机具还要投币是什么概念？到处都是明信片，我不知道明信片收集一整组之类的有没有什么额外的加成？好多明信片。
Someone has left an unidentifiable art. The cloth, if you can still call it that. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you. It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying...
我带着它又怎样？你管我？
Awful and familiar. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungence. Something cold. Wait, it is death. It must be. The lieutenant had... There's some tear. An empty cigarette packet. 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor. Plus some Pilsner bottles too.
A tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it. It's no older than a day. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. A man lies on the boardwalk. His limbs bent at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum.
这是个冻尸之类的。
The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer.
Calm now. Carefully. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are. Be very, very careful where you step here. A dried chunk of blood covers the head.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bend.
A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap.
Tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death. Stench.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum.
The boards screech under the weight of the T500 ceramic. You see waves churning below. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? We do know that he was married. But you're right. Let's not run ahead. Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it would... What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe...
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, but I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition official. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone... It does seem to be a pretty straight... From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be... I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work. Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then...
Listen to it. The library card is folded into two. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased or his family. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Most of these titles seem to be
科幻惊悚类的书籍。
Please return the card to the library. Dial 0050255.
到6点已经超过了。
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Méjean.
Good idea. There was...
比利梅让。
metal payphone under.
这是要用来给我打电话的。有人挂电话挂得太粗暴，整个爆炸了。所以这个才是那个教堂哦。 为什么有音乐？
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you.
这是捷径的意思咯。
Barely holding it up. The pain falls into the icy snow with a soft
推倒永恒之板。
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s.
Oh, hello there. Huh? So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat. I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. This is a portable recording device. It's actually just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. Okay. A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
Okay, it's Burger.
A very common name.
Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers.
Take this, you're called.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that.
It's okay.
Thanks.
哎，我真的就直接把帽子送他嘞，靠！
Go ahead. Okay.
不是啊，我的通情达理怎么不见了？这也太悲剧了吧！
Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch, and
我还没有点数可以升级，太好了。这边不能走嘞。 哪里？没有看到啊。
Come on, get in. Sorry, we barely have room for.
You go ahead.
I'm actually not, he thinks.
I'm sure you will feel right as.
超级皮通灵。
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. Encore! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very
Hardcore! Ah!
The question is, what is the question? But there was a question?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of thought? You see a youngish man bleaching.
Hello, I'm Andre.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair. Imbecilic, yes, should the future ever come. His grip is strong.
This is my posse.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish...
Also for talent!
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole!
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast. I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock.
Strike that! The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Yes. And the worst part is, they're also I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is...
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All right, man.
Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boy...
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work.
Of course. Not all right.
It's as if time has frozen.
Shit.
Blam! Straight in the eye.
Cut.
A stabbing pain.
Man, I'm super sorry. That was I really am sorry, man.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
I hope that settles it. Or what? The key?
He is shifting in his spot. Uncle.
We were talking about the pad not long, like a week maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean...
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter.
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive.
你把他们锁在里面，还说他们大概有80%的机会还活着。
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You're right. It is nonsense.
He nods, attentive.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many... Well, there's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned. Empty.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Andre!
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with...
No!
Which other one?
Felt like silence.
Oh, not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt, well, honestly, I can't.
This is a below female attack.
Can't be.
Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from? You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout. Sure. What? Yes.
What? Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. Oh, it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab.
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to...
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter, can't even breathe. Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosefed is the shit.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away.
我不知道这个补的是哪一种。
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
As always.
Wasteland of reality.
这个花了最久的思维到底
You're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize
能够让我们清醒得到什么
from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon.
我靠
Plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve.
扣这么多啊
In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person.
无法从酒精中得到任何好处，然后还扣一大堆的技能，但加一心灵，加一心灵等于又把刚才扣的一些技能加回来了吧？对吧？应该算是有加回来一些。我的永恒之板呢？永恒之板带我去哪里？带我回到教堂是吗？对。7:48分，哇，这看起来有点糟哎，7:48有点晚了。
Go. Nice and easy. No.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is.
Who's there?
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll hand. To what do I owe them?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your...
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jeng. The labyrinth of streets underneath it.
Oh, good.
Did he say we can go back now?
是因为我们开车过来把水闸撞坏了，所以他们才被困在这里的。
Yes, Gary.
Sir, your wife.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken.
His hands are large and weather-worn. For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order and I suspect it may have also developed other specialized. It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception. But I cannot describe how these defenses work.
A ghost insect?
很会幻想。
These people are looking for...
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists. I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen.
重点是你们到底靠什么为生啊？研究这些神话生物。
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by
which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere... I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient after...
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, well, yes. Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the... At least, that's the intention. Locusts. Nearly all known fat...
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams.
The traps do seem to be definitely...
Yes. What? And I'm eager to return to her. My wife understands that.
我没办法说服你回去啊。
Come on, Morale.
And leave the traps. Absolutely.
Come on. She wants us back.
Won't let Lena down. Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting. On record. One of only 46.
She's seen it.
Yes. That's how we first came to
完蛋
know
了
one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
意乱情迷的时候投其所好讲的故事。
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian... No. The traps need to be monitored.
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Yes, indeed. Both require... There are 4 in total. One is to the south. Another we set in Land's End. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab.
一个在南边，一个在东北边，一个在跨过运河的混凝土旁边。
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This...
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular? Is it?
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
Bring it to me at once.
He's not comfortable with the possibility.
That's highly unlikely of it. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite a wise choice.
I hope you're not buying this. It is
precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I...
Right, which means you two can...
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that...
Finally.
Thank you for your help. Gary...
If it's more cryptic...
终于可以送他们回去旅店了。
Information is vital. What about his eager to leave friend Gary there? Talk to him...
Hello, I'm Yellow Man. I mean, officer.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrow. Yellow Man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to...
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel
法西斯主义者
insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Oh, I didn't mean it in any scientific way. My mug? Why would you think that? Oh, no, that's not... Why would I be calling to a broken mug? Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. You're not going to find me, are you? Okay, I deserve that. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, it's...
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just, I know a guy who works with the trash collection service, so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn... I'm sorry, okay?
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know? Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly. Okay, I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's...
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before.
Armor? No. I mean, yeah.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth. There's something going on here. You should observe him more.
What sound? Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. And I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way. I told you...
He's not feeling uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer.
Not many Xenolites here, or anywhere. Oh, yes. Of course he is.
从容自若，这个要拿掉。
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together. As, yes, like a piece of ceramic armor.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit that this shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches
我是合法偷窃，
comes into view. Soon it is in your hands.
利用自己的公权力，职务之便。侵占被害人的盔甲，然后盖瑞的盔甲还要被我们收缴。
But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake.
We're detecting sincere contrition.
It's okay. It was a...
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. CLI officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
They were thoroughly conservative men. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this history.
Because I was weak.
The hell, Gary?
I'll explain later. I always thought it was the Union.
This is all he knows.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like... No.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an...
Yes, officer?
坚忍不拔，意志坚定，扣一通情达理。所以是穿在内衣。他有一堆陷阱要检查。旧的售票亭，完全只能绕路回去，好不好？底下看来是不可通行的区域，根本不能点击。
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner.
这个应该蛮多。没有吗？我印象中应该有很常提到啊，所以都是扣的，没有增加的。所以我不扣它，哎呦，这个有加，我不扣它已经是最好的状态。
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the crack. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall.
哇，11点呢。
There are many of them, a dozen at least. Their heads lowered and eyes.
这是什么？共产党被枪毙。
It's quiet. No.
康米主义者。
No. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles prime. A gust of wind blows by. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since watched. The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They stand. Ordinary people, familiar, foreign dissidents, unwashed criminals, and hoi polloi. Such is your belief, officer. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flash.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives killed by the
可能是康民主义者处决保皇派，也可能是
Or it could have been the communists.
康民主义者后来被处决。
It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast.
Or maybe.
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant.
A cold sea.
我过来的时候怎么会没看到这些东西呢？
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks behind you. The ruins of a residential building loom. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
You set the apparatus back on the ground.
跟陷阱互动应该也是需要花一点时间呢。
This is the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, "The reeds, but it's good the cryptos. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen. This trap is
another empty trap. Always up for a good jog."
有氧运动。这看起来要撬开才可以之类的。Yep。鼻通灵，5.25块。第一只脚，东北面，渔村东南，东北的先看好。反正横竖已经很晚了，我们之后还要往回走。等一下，这个是什么东西？我可以上去耶，我不知道怎样才有办法上去。这边看到有楼梯口。不太确定它指的东北面是什么地方。
It's military, a service depot, probably something that is no longer there.
能工巧匠20层打开。
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologists. The reeds shake sadly. The wind picks up here. Near the cave, nothing but locusts in.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we are done. No, I'm fine.
很久以前有人在这里生了一堆营。梯子修到爬不上去的灯塔，天人感应。我其实不太确定天人感应是在什么情况下会触发的，是宗教信仰吗？还是什么？好像很少遇到相应的检定。 最后一个陷阱说在渔村的东南角，那应该是几乎快要回到我们一开始过河的地方了。已经9点嘞，靠！我要回去公寓啊。小孩回到房子里了是吗？多了个观察的点。Yeah. 干嘛？为什么多了个圈圈，可是没有泡泡可以点？是 bug 吗？
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it.
金的存在让一切变得很尴尬。
What's in your mind, officer?
重点是这个循循善诱本来的难度就已经非常高了。东南角这里算是渔村，所以东南的话。
The worn and beaten wooden plank.
We can sit.
有一堆可以坐的长板凳。所以金还是不让我免费睡这里的意思吗？我没有看到鱼，我没有看到陷阱。运河附近的陷阱，他有说到是在我过河的地方附近啊，在这里。
It takes you a moment. It takes you a moment. The reeds bend forlorn, the constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. The trap feels light and silent as you... No locus. No phasmid either, but still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though.
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others. Like someone or something picked up the trap and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not. We did sort of promise to tell them, didn't we?
一个点数。 可能没有空再多跑一趟，所以我们要直接先去公寓的28号房了。明天调查序号，这样子至少现实的部分我们应该都算有做到了。只是今天做的事情还是偏少，因为下午的时候直接搞到昏迷。
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
我记得有讲说我们应该要一起去，所以我先不要送金左走。
paintbrush? The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things.
I couldn't know. 三小啊！
You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade.
所以燃油罐就已经可以当做燃料了呀！我想说，我为什么忽然可以画
？Real poetry. Should we read?
等一下，等开头资讯可以作为进入下一阶段前额外资讯的选项。我倒是没有发现它有这样的分类，但真的重大进展的选项，它应该都会有告诉你继续或是总结之类的。
Gendarmerie, you found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights.
It was mine. My friends use it from time to time. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. Trust me, you do. Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place.
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend.
He takes another drag of his downstairs. A cat crosses the yard.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Something flutters in the corner.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, alright?
一定要放他走哦。
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Right after you.
谁是他的周日朋友？免费住房的话要找老奶奶，我不能直接睡在船上。我以为他刚才会让我直接睡在船上。哎、哇哦，真的是派对用的。
You have acquired the robe. Keep it, officer. It looks good on you.
His hands are clean and well manicured.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-Lac-Lay. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. That's really all I can tell you about it.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and not.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in...
He holds out his hands and...
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead.
所以只有外地人不知道要躲避工会的事物。
That's when I understood I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated.
I couldn't tell you exactly.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
That's a giant you're describing. No, I went back inside.
Were you able to see?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 aeroplanes. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a pop. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I'm afraid I don't have any...
About what time was...
All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCA. The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. The economy impacts the entire international community. Well, I'm renovating it. You could say I'm undoing some of the material that... Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral intern is joking or not.
It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. A sound monetary policy, but oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's committee. Whatever you wish, officer. My friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has... Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But that it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the moral intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms. It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And a supranational political alliance. You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members.
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
不是在讲欧盟吗？
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insular Peninsula? Oil. One of the wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own...
There's a joke here. Come on. It's so juvenile. Besides, there's no way this man is going to get it. That's why it's good.
Oh, how wonderful.
See? He didn't get it. Good job, Joke Meister. The lieutenant lets out a long nasal sigh.
Sorry. Who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Officer, you have to understand. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fight.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy.
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen.
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away. My friend comes and goes.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
I'm all ears, officer. A moment. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space.
你们不会是在玩什么奇怪的角色扮演吧？总是有一些奇装异服欸。没有什么好奇怪的，我觉得很奇怪。
Was there anything else? I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Easy, detective. No need.
Because I did it?
He's clearly not a man accustomed to being spoken to in that manner, let alone to being accused of murder.
What's the meaning of this? Is your
There is no meaning, sir. Please excuse my colleague. This case has been a great...
I won't stand for this. What's your name? I'll have your badge. What kind of name is that? You're a disgrace.
Good God, detective. One more stunt like... No, let's go. Before you...
靠北龙舌兰末日。所以今天是礼拜天吗？不是啊，今天是礼拜三。可是他说这是他的周日朋友，为什么是他的周日朋友？哎靠啊！我点错门了，哎。我不知道是不是因为我没有拿到地图还是怎样呢，所以需要一份城市地图。所以我没办法使用快速旅行，虽然他一直有在跟我讲提示说快速旅行点解锁。刚才说免费住房的话要找老奶奶，可惜我们前面怕时间不够，一直没有跟他讲话。看景佐送走之后有没有机会回去讲话。
The man is deep. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep.
All right. I will need a little help carrying him.
送进车厢。希望他车明天至少会开回来，我这样才能够拨电话去问那个装甲序号的事。时间完全没有流逝，所以运尸题1分钟都没有花。 我会每天在外面夜游超过一定的时速之后，他直接就让我晕死在外面了，有点担心说。老奶奶还在吗？
You're not sure about the melody.
Welcome to the fishing village.
Then how does she know you're here?
I still have a golden ear. Come, come. Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago.
Huh?
You also came to take care. No, not you personally.
Oh.
I meant the house he was boarding. Needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black heart. Maybe they are afraid because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park. Ah, look at me ramble on. What is stay? Most people here. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the Elysium. No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. You can stay there. Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police. I can wash it for you, but it's good.
Hell yeah.
Well, and it must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty.
他还在，这个也还在，你们都不用睡觉的。坚忍不拔，疑神疑鬼，故弄玄虚。啊，金现在不在，跟他约派对，不知道有没有搞头。
The sea's gonna calm down soon.
非常低。
The sea's gonna calm down soon. 循循善诱，有这个东西吗？我不记得我有。有一件外套，但也就只有这样了，就这一点而已。 The sea's gonna calm down soon. I can.
点爆！顶爆了还是输？顶爆了还是点爆了还是没办法通过？我有没有思维在扣的啊？是不是有思维在扣我的循循善诱？有现实的荒原有扣，不过他加1心智应该就把这个补回来了吧？
The sea's gonna calm down soon.
Oh yes.
让我通过，我想看跟寡妇开这个派对的剧情啊！而且我甚至不知道他发现的合法派对地点是哪里，指的是
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon.
Oh yes, she does.
那些年轻人
You
吗
need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years.
What? Funny.
It's okay. She just hasn't figured. Get the drink.
各种失败。不太确定这为什么是用心智线，我以为正常这个应该是要用嗑药这一类的。
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon.
Oh yes, she does.
Shit.
Hi, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel, like I said, fish mostly. Sometimes I...
Keep it professional, man. Don't. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Oh, very. What else? Bottle?
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
And go where? The fish are plentiful here and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something. People imagine picking up and finding something better isn't... I don't mean to complain about my pauper life. We are warm and... Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? An installation. Us poor people are stupid and don't get installations. All I see is a heap of trash. This actually calls for a funeral, I think. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all. Why odd?
Life world. Someone's been reading up on last century Gotwaldian philosophers.
Oh yeah? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it. Absolutely.
Oh yes, she.
所以看来告诉他是我们把车子撞沉在那里的，好像还没有什么特别不好的反应哎。这寡妇看的可真开。
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon.
Oh yes, she does.
Aye.
You need to get your drink on.
Alcohol?
She doesn't even understand.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down.
Oh yes, she
Shit.
does. You need to.
17%有这么难吗？6次了，应该已经算蛮高成功率了。
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can...
Oh yes, she does.
Alcohol? That's a good impression. You really...
She doesn't even understand. You
Oh,
think
靠
she
8%成功了。
needs more of that after a man died at sea. What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober?
太小了。
Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober, acknowledge the situation, and keep it basic.
什么叫做能够在清醒状态下做出一些非常单纯原始的事情？为什么一定要喝醉？
I have, and I don't really. Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk take us?
Nothing creepy, strange, or out there.
我没有得选啊。
Keep it airy and simple.
All right, I will walk with you, but you need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking.
可能会发生一些事啊。
Yes, someone could get pushed in the water, maybe even get laughed at. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. All right, I'll go put the kids to bed and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes.
哇，15分钟后都已经快要半夜了。
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready. 就直接过去吗？嘿，白色哀悼也好了。 所有伸手的学习上限+1，缩放比例+20%，意思是我画面可以拉更远，就这样而已吗？真的哎，就只是我的画面可以拉得更远而已，也不完全没用啦，也不完全没用啊。可是，另外存一个存档了，因为刚才的快速储存我不想把它改掉。第一只脚，我记得就是一直往东北走，所以怎么还会有漏掉的盒子？ 能言善道+1耶，可能可以帮助我说服那个该死的货柜打开。 The woman gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes, and only then spots you approaching.
Aye, so here you are. It's late and the sun is going down. It'll be dark soon.
已经天黑了。
Stay here long enough, we will be joined by a cortege
我们
of
10点才出来。
teenagers. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
Across the rusty water, that's La Delta, the financial district. In the mist-covered distance, towers rise as a rebuke to the poverty of this coast.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. The world? Those big words men like to throw around as though they had weight. Let's just admire this piece of the world we happen to have in front of us, eh?
As she turns to face the sun, reflected in the waves,
哪有太阳啦？
is rising across the bay. You cannot help following her steady gaze.
睁眼说瞎话还是旁白？我们都快要11点了。
You should say something, anything. Maybe the tequila sunset thing.
It's a common Revacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death. So, are you going to keep the name? Well then, Officer Dubois.
The remains of the dying sun are reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River.
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer.
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out. See, the sun isn't always that great. Think of people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water. There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas. Grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be? I guess we wouldn't really be here if that thing wasn't on our team.
Here we go. 2 different approaches to cap this off with style.
Aye. And a benevolent one. When did you last have one of those on your side? Well, now you have that giant thing to watch over you. So, to hell with love. You know, the wind's gonna pick up soon, and I have to go, but...
为什么要抽出剑来？
Have this.
哇，送我欸。
The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore. No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me. Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Farewell.
感觉蛮值得的，还拿到一把剑，看一下那把剑的功能是什么。不会最后就只是拿来典当吧？装备它来鼓舞自己。哇，怎么个鼓舞法？
An old door worn by elements.
20难度，这个就算点了也没什么帮助吧。点上去变7，对啊，7加12也才19哦。
heavy wooden doors, more than twice the carving on the door the surface is smooth, feels exceptional. This cheap-looking pattern, it'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker, you see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like there is something blindingly modern about this symbol. It's the contrast between the cheery chemical yellow and the rigor. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow. There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
贴在封面上。
Looks like today was a gold star day. The lock turns, a great whoosh of air rushes in the heart of the city.
到底会不会因为调查太晚，睡眠不足啊？毕竟我们的伙伴也是大半夜的开车回去送尸体了。也许没关系，所以我们之前都太早睡了。无线电频率，所以他们躲在教堂继续开发游戏吗？不是吧
A machine stands in the corner. Another radio computer. Could it? This is the Ream Prefect. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the... As you step closer, you notice fluorescent play and print buttons on the speaker comes to...
Good evening.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the
真的耶
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? Please end the call and do that. I have 2 machines registered.
Saint-Brun. That's the church. Rue de Zong.
Anything else? Sleep?
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. Nothing happens. Behind the hatch sits another filament member.
通情达理。雕像是后来新增上去的木雕。
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All this, maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. Almost you can hardly hear your own breathing. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
What? 悲剧。
Just darkness without end. It makes you... There's nothing. Filled with... You see something hanging. Maybe it's possible to...
What?
Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying. The man leaned forward a little.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district.
I'm here to receive the mother's love. You can too, Holmes. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you up.
He's a born preacher. Enjoy the rhetorical flourishes, but remain vigilant. Giving away all of your possessions, sacrificing a limb to appease an angry god, trying to live on air alone. That's right. Hey, and what was that about? The bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh.
You come back to face your coco. Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't. I was like you once.
You know, he may be strange, but you might want to pay attention to what he's saying.
The only thing we need to talk about is how this is the church of the Mother of Silence.
You have no idea whatever it is. He's quite confident about it. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Up there, Holmes. Oh man, I would love to see that statue. I'm sure I'd be trespassing. I done my share of illegal shit. Used to be in a gang, the whole deal. But even memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. That's not really the point, I said. Thiago's my name, by the way. Though those syllables don't mean much to me. Your place amongst your fellows. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estúpida.
Viejita is grandma?
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her. I'm afraid not, Ese.
Or search through her radio computer.
This is a special place. There's a perforation. I circled it. Nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go. I think they were. A long time ago.
These shoes look pretty dapper, actually.
Oh, that's no simple question. She is a cavity in the dark, beyond sense. I will be incinerated, but not...
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to
信仰是一种毒品。
his very own self.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here. Been spending a lot of time here ever since.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden...
Police raid a while back. Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. It might even be nice to have some company.
直接接受了 ，what？
It's early in the morning. The world.
但他说的老奶奶不知道是谁哦，说偶尔会来打打电脑的。
A delicate composition of triangles.
直接加3天人感应。古惑仔丝巾，反正这些散落的衣物应该都本来是他的。
silver and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you. The woman looks down at you, standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive.
根本不可能活下去。
That soft word passes through your mind as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. The woman keeps smiling. It's a mystery.
Oh!
A mystery spring. All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something. The shards glimmer in the...
气死人呢！怎么可以失败这么多东西啊？有够靠背。我不太确定教堂要不要带警探来耶，因为
wooden doors more than twice your height stand shut in front of you. This cheap, it'll be easier to break. You see, there is something blinding.
警佐感觉会有一些他的个人看法。
It's the contrast. This cheap, it'll be easier to break the staple than you. There's nothing like the sound of a stick. Looks like today was a gold. The carving on the surface feels exceptional. The lock turns a great in the.
门开了就先放着吧，改天再回来查看它。我那个丝状记忆体没有带吗？有，可是不能够安装在这里。这刀感觉好像没什么用啊。为什么又有突然有想法啊？老奶奶就这样子直接坐在外面都没有去睡觉哎 ，what？
The door has seen better.
这些人真的是都不睡觉的。我感觉我今天没做的事情还是蛮多的，
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your...
逻辑思维的夹克。
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and...
刮胡子。刮了。
On the table, you see a bowl of like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman. The sharp blade changes,
全部不见了
reducing a scratching sound. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. The water reflects back a vague, the beardless nature of your cheeks makes the expression.
我来看一下3D 模型上，3D 模型上的胡子也不见了。那要顺便把表情也弄不见吗？先看一下有没有机会把几率冲高。还有一个是吸毒的裤子，这个不对，对，就是这一件。吸毒手套。
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
42%有没有？来，我们要把表情变得很哀怨呢。
An old mirror hangs on the wall. It's too late.
快点收起你那猥琐的笑容。
You see your reflection in it. It's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending. A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long.
奸笑的表情被清除得一干二净。
Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had.
不影响他的3D 模型，就是主角的3D 模型还是长得一模一样。居然有2个都是加食髓知味的裤子。
The bed is comforting, if... Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument.
Recorded in you. Forever. On Faraday.
No, you're spinning tapes at the discotheque. The great unceasing disco of the mind. The flash. The bang. The endless learning experience. On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
All stuck on loop. whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harristar, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Mean.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more.
For the money, baby. For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it.
昨晚只睡了3小时，可是我明明是11点左右睡的，早上7点起来也不会是3小时啊。
Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you. It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around it. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your, oh sure, you've been making progress on your case, interview, but who's focusing on the big questions? But have you ever seen them? You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité. Harry, your la responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues. The Human Welfare Index.
What?
The price of staple goods. The transition to real democracy. Whoa. This isn't some kind of, like a committee. Only the most even-keeled minds. Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you will have the wisdom and expertise.
完全看不懂这任务是要我干嘛。
Good luck. You
建议设立委员会。
on the table, you see.
还在下雨。他会来找我哇！就不用去找他
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps I'm really not sure about this turn of events.
Yeah, damage. He means...
Either way, good on you. You were saying? I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject. If you ask me, it's high time for you to set aside these frivolous side tasks and focus 100%. Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for? Now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility. Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral... You know who might be, though. That Mr. Villedroit, the gentleman you needlessly antagonized in the apartments. If you are trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by finding some way to apologize to him. Now, was there anything else?
我很明显不会想要去成立什么委员会的，这只是看看他的剧情而已。完全不想理他的周日朋友。
It's early in the morning.
有新的对话选项吗？
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Aye. But don't let it grow too much. Like I said, fish mostly. Sometimes I also...
Keep it professional, man.
Oh, Barry. What else?
All right. Major choice.
Don't have any. Those get... Oh. That's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Quite odd.
Life world.
Oh, yeah? Take it from someone who...
That's all we have time for right now, anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. Yes, that is a pity.
Oh? Well, how can I see...
OK， 没什么新的对话，都跟原本的一模一样。我要确认一下，我昨天没有去回报神秘动物学者的那个笼子的状况，不知道会不会有影响。今天再回报会有差吗？啊，艾凡克的谜题是什么鬼东西？鸟类雕本，然后这个是听了录音带之后新的询问的选项。哎，干什么？
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neons.
A snazzy shit-ripped skull.
Yeah, tribe.
What are you...
It's just theoretical work, Copper.
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
I can tell you who we're not.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and...
The part of this presentation you wanna...
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange.
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper...
Yeah, a true art...
by the way, if you see Cindy...
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are... The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name, because we can be just as psycho and vicious.
Ah, you'll see for sure once we're in.
Throw him off his game.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're only saying practice things for now.
This is definitely something the skulls would say. but we're not trying to encroach on the Skull's brand in any way. On the contrary, we're just here to market it.
Hey, we could be just as hard. Like pavement on top of pavement.
Or a grave on top of a grave.
These kids have vocabulary, but might be missing a brain. Wouldn't a grave on top of a grave be just a big hole? What's hard? Filling them up, baby.
Murder? Yeah, sure.
Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a...
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything.
Hey, stop that!
This sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
我知道你什么都不知道。
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one...
What if it's art? Or
maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the art...
So what do you think we know? What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not the word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the what I mean by this is, we are...
Though he seemed lacking in vocabulary, it seems that the young man has expertise in it.
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one. For so...
I'm wondering if the poetics come with...
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times. And even then it isn't, you get more fish in a shorter time. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets and two badass cops?
Yes? Leather jackets adorned with immature writing? The ideology they convey helps the boys justify poor choices in life and fashion. I'm not a fan. What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you, detective. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think is the stronger of the two statements. Seems about right.
That's an origin.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
还可以跟他们要夹克，很靠背。疑神疑鬼，疑神疑鬼。没有哪个道具是加这个，也是这一件。疑神疑鬼，故弄玄虚倒是很多了。手套有啊。
That ride is...
Hey, piss... Look who it is.
No. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls.
What? No. Skulls don't have kings.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take...
Prospect must be a hierarchical term.
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up. Are you trying to get us killed?
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
Oh, man. Okay, I get it. Skulls don't really wear slogans anyway.
Fuck.
好可怜啊。
The lieutenant watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement.
I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you. This case doesn't require us to go undercover or raise...
Cold-hearted cop.
Do.
The jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man was standing...
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
好可怜哦。太惨了。
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio
要
microphone.
来打电话了。
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? One moment. Can you please describe the body?
We suspect he might have been inebriated.
Any signs of violence? No field autopsy net. What about his belongings? Did you examine it? Any information on the library card? Good. Yeah. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want... I have assigned the case to Lieutenant. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else? I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library...
要10点以后才能打。
Anything else, Detective? Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling
说好的
again late. 57. Oh.
In the cabin, you see that
说好不是今天再联络的吗？你又还没查到资料，所以可能也要在一定的时间以后才算过一天嘛。警佐也很忙哎，昨天去大半夜跑去运尸体，今天还要一起查案，超累的。
It's great to see you again, officer.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie. Meskin art.
the little silvery knob holding the tie together feels... You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably... There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her.
Oh, I'd be delighted.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
He nods and is... Ooh, tough choice there.
No. It's the cryptid. Oh, yes. The eight-eyed Teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation they...
Mutation? All of evolution.
Until it was cited by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Huang Canyon. Alone in the black, he was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uva got there, the Teratorn had taken off already. And the... Yes, or rather, the professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked.
到底是谁会信这些东西啊？
Then, the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its... The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back. The 8-eyed Teratorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind. Yes, wait, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since. But
modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they...
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. Of course, dear. Oh, you don't want to hear about...
Ramblings. Nonsense.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
Measuring things is important.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what...
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in
Betoncourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20...
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Now, I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep. I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Oh, for years it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever...
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was... If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena, you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself.
What if it is the case?
Our first, yes.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by...
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance.
他给了的领带加内陆帝国加意志坚定，果然是很强的东西，所以
Always a pleasure to... I mean, officer.
Can I help you?
What is this thing?
Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess?
I feel good about our work here today.
It's not actually about that, but he liked.
所以鸟被挂在哪里？我没有看到啊。
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like.
五感发达应该有加的吧？好像没有欸。没有欸，靴子，我是不知道靴子要怎么加你的感官。
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height nothing. Just
哇，看不到东西也可以士气受损，可以再玻璃心一点啊。
Behind the dockworkers, nothing.
42%已经很不错了，拜托你靠谱一点。我技能点可能到时候还要拿来移除一些不太有用的想法。
Behind the dockworkers, there's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached the yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it.
Huh?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush dive.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched.
Come on, man.
I'm tired of listening to your shit. Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key. Didn't even know it was there.
No idea.
Never even seen it.
会是这个吗？
You see ahead, the key fits the dimple, the darkness before.
还真的嘞。
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places. Attaboy, the world's secrets were made.
吼吼，一堆弹珠台。
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played. Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white road.
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one...
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now. Kim, Pinball, Kitsuragi. Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation
So now he remembers. Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations. No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights. And to fun. It is lame. I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me, A long time ago. Before I became a homicide. Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring. As you do when you're a juvie cop. It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile. End of story. That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball. It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
我以为知道你弹珠了，金弹珠。
Not only to you, I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi to everyone. No.
This small elevator smells of nougat and sweat. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, last...
That it does. I say, let's brave it. No, it was maintained in 88 of the previous century.
上一个世纪的88年。
If some form of time travel becomes possible in the future, I doubt it's invented.
There are large rectangles. A small steel plaque reads, Halter 800.
Seems like a small freight.
关门上楼啊！这是某种工作室吗？替换零件。弹珠台的设计，通情达理、手眼协调，这都是没有负面效果的衣物。
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be
a creek. Some
downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the artists bang away at it. At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe?
Mm-hmm.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been one. The Blue Door was a mega investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, which I would say is quite large.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The side, this print is unlike one left by a regular worker boot. Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me, or some kind of foreign...
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross.
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind Classius.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman, writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sense the footprints on the floor, however. Definitely
You lean closer to the peephole, instinctively.
这里还有偷窥孔可以看他的房间里，大概在这个位置。
The door is small but heavy looking. It's barred from the
Unless we veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out.
Folded M dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series.
看来是要打开啊。脚偏大的女性，或是脚偏小的男性。
Hello, officer. What brings you?
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via the encryption station. It's all...
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style? Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Ko-Holly style? He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Ko-Hoi. It wasn't his everything.
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for? Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminese conflict, the Ko-Hoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezud all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Ko-Hoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? In Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what
She takes a very small sip of...
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page. Everything left to be clarified is in the column on the left.
It very well could be, yeah. What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense. There. She momentarily lost control over straight back guy.
Of course I do. I'm
Do you feel guilty about what happened?
Among many other things, yes.
What is this? An interrogation? You didn't tell her this was going to be an interrogation.
In Oranje, officer.
The Lelystad municipality has few...
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another...
No love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot. There is nothing on more. I love Revachol, though. He was 42.
42? Are you sure?
He had many scars that made him appear older. We even celebrated his birthday, like...
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog. Before we
我年龄猜对。
It isn't. Police work.
This is clearly sports for him. Something like archery or darts. The young woman looked
blue. Light blue. They were like... Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made...
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. Oh, that. It was a map of his life and the places he visited as a soldier. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course.
Is this Oranese lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Oranese lit. A moment's respite. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bad shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star. Oh yeah. No thank you. I've seen enough of him.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. Change of topic, perhaps? A moment ago it was love. And no, I don't think the Union is communist. They're not hardcore in that way, is what I'm trying to say.
I think she's just tired. She doesn't know what you could blame her. A little. It was a pretty straightforward question that she refused to.
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all, below the damage, the weeks of decomposition. All, how old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its ligaments. You could ask either one of them.
Huh. How old do I think you are?
She's buying time to formulate. Look who's finally awake.
I don't know. 40? I was like 9 when OO peaked. That was what, 19 years ago? I liked them when I was 9. You couldn't have liked it when you were 40. Let's say you were 20-something. 25. A good disco age. 25 plus...
Wow.
Yeah. I have a university degree. Absolutely. Age is just a number, man.
Yes, miss, but for him that number is 56.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements to the laboratorium.
靠腰还要在实验室测自己的实际年龄，真小啦，有必要吗？这两个门有什么？这两个门有什么差别？所以 ，OK， 这个到阳台，这个到内部，两个是分开的，没有共同接到一个区域。我还是走楼梯下去好了。嗯？等一下，我刚才没有问到他关于密道的事情啊。 这倒是蛮奇怪的。他应该要直接有问他密道的选项才对。
Hello, officer? Sure. The record, yeah?
这个
I did not. Mystery solved.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's
Huh.
She's straight as a stick.
A peephole? You mean like a hole?
Yes, looking into your bedroom, miss.
Okay. Do you think this is somehow connected to me? Okay. Do you have any way of...
Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It should not be hard to cut.
Shit. I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe the look... I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there? Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun. Alright.
所以不会是 Kuno 吧 ？Kuno 这么变态吗？他说脚掌要么是偏大的女性，要么是偏小的男性，但是小屁孩应该不至于被描述成这样，所以，然后如果照能够进入那一个区域的人，不会是旅店经理有这么变态吗？这个是干嘛的？
This medicine cabinet.
Alen 好啦，还是得休息了，玩的有点久，先确认一下经理有没有最后相关的资讯。如果跟那个房间或是密室他都没什么要说的，就得先存档了。今天的话过到10点。如果不要搞出什么昏迷的那些鬼花样的话，理论上今天还可以做蛮多事。
Well, well, bringing in that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
Another thing. Great. I love that. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one. Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
What? Someone mentioned my name.
We were just paying you a compliment. And finding out a degenerate from room 3 nicked the phone line. Everything is a good thing that guest pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it. Was there anything? Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there.
He's really it takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously.
Okay, what is back there? Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines... I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean. No, I was just...
He was wondering about something business related. About how much money he could make off one.
Capitalist plot. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here.
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up.
What wall? I'll have it fixed at once. Thank you for letting...
The color has drained from his face.
Absolutely not. Fuck you for even implying it. Wasn't...
Well, he's definitely not lying.
Sir, he was only asking a question.
Yes, I absolutely will. Thank you. I'll patch it up personally. Was there something else? Yes.
到底是谁有办法进去那个密室嘞？厨师也不太可能。
The man ponders his cooking utensils.
先这样吧，有一些资讯，如果之后真的隔太久才玩的话，有可能会忘记。但是，毕竟在没有进行对话的时候，游戏是暂停的，我们还是有足够的时间可以复习哦。那但是我们今天的 Disco Elysium 就只能先玩到这边，希望大家还喜欢今天的节目，我们下次再见喽，晚安。